The following marketing information and discussion is provided for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as professional guidance or consultancy. You should find an agency for that. Comexis is a digital marketing agency, so feel free to hire us. But otherwise, just enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome to The Buyer's Journey by Comexis, a discussion-based podcast on the ever-changing marketing landscape. I'm Matthew McGarty, the social media content producer here at Comexis.
I'm Len Ward, the managing partner at Comexis.
I'm Josh Lyons, the digital marketing coordinator here at Comexis.
So it is Thursday, and typically on Thursdays we talk about the retention phase of the buyer's journey, but we're going to not talk about that today because we want to talk about something very interesting that just sort of was reported just the other day, that Google may begin having businesses pay for Google My Business. So basically, Google sent out some surveys to local businesses, asking them about features that they might be interested in or willing to pay for Google My Business. And I'll get into that in a second. But first, Len, could you tell me briefly what Google My Business is?
So it's had a million different variations, but in a really, really easy nutshell, Google My Business is the map listing you find when you put in dentist near me, pizza place near me, tacos near me, and you open it up, you see a map listing, and you'll see, again, Jenny's Tacos. And you open it up, and you'll see there's pictures of her place, there'll be reviews of her place. She can actually put some specials and things like that on there. It's a way for Google for you to kind of have quick interaction on your phone and to draw business where people can either walk to your location or can get in their car and drive to your location. So it kind of supersedes all the organic traffic that happens underneath. It doesn't really overtake the paid traffic up top, but at the end of the day, those map listings you see on Google when you type in something near me? That's Google My Business.
And that includes things like phone numbers, websites. So that obviously gets listed when you go through a SERP page on Google. But Barry Schwartz on Search Engine Land has been reporting about how Google has been sending out these surveys. And the survey is basically specifically asking local businesses how much they would be willing to pay for some services that are already included in Google My Business and also some services that aren't necessarily included in Google My Business yet. So if you go to our blog description, I'll have pictures of all of these already in there, as well as a picture of what some of the prices might be. They range from anywhere from $10 to $70. And you can also click and check out the survey if you are a small business interested in filling out the survey. But there's basically two screens at one point that talk about options of things that you would like to enhance your business presence on Google My Business. So there's two pages that each have about 7 to 8 things on them. And they include, for example, do you like promoted map pins, book buttons on your business profile, promoting your book button, verified reviews, removing ads from your business profile, verified licenses, requesting quotes, automated message responses, automated responses for reviews, call reports and recordings. And then give me a second, folks, as I turn this page. Google search results placement, Google customer support offers, Google guarantees, get leads from competitive profiles, video on your business profile, instant quote, background check, verified bookings, and featured reviewed. So a lot of these things are things that aren't currently on Google My Business that Google's kind of setting out the feelers for. And obviously if you go through them, you basically choose the top 2 that you would like, 4 others that you would like, and then things that you would not prefer for your business. And of course, obviously that will change depending on what your business is. And then at the end, you're basically given a couple different package options of things that you might like. So again, this is a survey. They're not actually charging anybody for anything yet, but they'll show you options that mix the different things that you liked into different packages. And it basically asks which of these packages would you prefer that have each of these features in them. And then they ask you how much you would be willing to pay per month subscription for these things. So what do we think about that?
So Google reported earnings, and we'll be talking about this in a whole separate podcast about earnings, but Google reported earnings, I think yesterday, 2 days ago. It was ironic how the board of directors, who's it, Eric Schmidt, I forget the gentleman's name. He ironically has stepped down from the board of directors. We might want to pull that up.
Didn't that come out today?
Google,
today, what's his name?
On Alphabet.
What was it? The Google what?
Google's board of directors. He used to be the CEO.
I think it was the Alphabet board of directors.
The Alphabet board of directors,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right. What is his name?
Yeah, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt had to
That's
leave
it, Eric
Alphabet.
Schmidt.
Yeah.
So he's, moved away. And this has nothing to do with it. But there are quite a bit of issues going on with Google right now. I think you have some people in our community that are probably cheering at all the issues, and you have other people saying, hey, my whole livelihood's tied up to this. So I'm not going to get too deep into it. I do want to get into, when we have another podcast about earnings, I will get into the weeds. But what this is happening right now, cut all the bullshit to the side. This is what Google's doing. They're no longer making the money that they were making on paid placement from regarding pay-per-click. They have to find a way in which to monetize and make more money on the first page of Google. The next and easiest way to do it, which is where they've put all of their investment over the last 5 years, is the local landscape. So if anybody has not thought that Google My Business was not going to become a paid vehicle, you've not been paying attention. Not only is it going to be taking money out of the small business owner's pocket, but it will be taking money out of the agency pocket, where the agency historically had to help you try to get to rank there. It is going to be a paid product. I believe Google ultimately would like to get to the point where Google My Business becomes the one-stop shop for the pizza parlor, the taco place, whatever it may be, that you don't even need to go to the website. Everything is all integrated right in there. There was actually a time a couple years ago where many people thought Google My Business was you would actually open up the page and they would have like a live webcam in there where you could almost like somebody would man it and you could ask a question. I'd like to put an order in or something like that. A little creepy, but that was what people were thinking. So I think what this is right now is Google's trying to test the boundaries and try to find out how much can they charge if they're going to charge. Once you agree, yeah, I would pay my $75 a month. Oh, that's great. Okay, well, would you pay for placement on Google? Which you can do now, by the way. There's a very easy way on Google pay-per-click in which you just basically opt out of the Google partners and now your ad runs on the map listings. But this is all an early introduction to if you want to have, if you are a plumber near me, there's a service-based thing you can pay for, but let's just say you're a chiropractor near me or, again, pizza place near me, you are going to be having to pay to be on the first page of Google. Why is this happening? Because Google has Wall Street to answer to. Alphabet has Wall Street to answer to. If they're not going to hit their earnings, they have to find a way in which to monetize what they currently have. This is the next logical location. My guess is that Google My Business is a fully paid product in 18 months or less, and I would not be surprised if it's completely installed within 12 months or less. And I think at $75 a month, what do they have, prescription or subscriptions? What's it?
They
seem to
25
vary
to 60.
Anywhere from 10 per month, only because Barry Schwartz mentions that they, either the surveys he's seen or the survey he took said 10 at some point to 70. Obviously the images that we have range from 25 to 70. So it seems like it's going to be somewhere in that 10 to 75, 25 to 75 range.
So they'll roll this out in the larger communities first. I wouldn't be surprised to see this roll out in the San Francisco marketplace, the LA marketplace. This will eventually distill all the way down to Clementon, New Jersey marketplace. But it will roll out at the higher price. It's a great way for Google to monetize where they are. So that's my thought. So when you see surveys like this and you see certain things like that, it's not Google. Are they trying to help you? Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're trying to make money. But if you're a business owner and understanding that this is a large driver of your business, and this falls in quite a few stages of the buyer's journey, be prepared. This is going to be an additional money that's going to be added to your marketing budget. It's coming, it's happening, you can't stop it. If you rely on Google, which you should be for a lot of your business, this is coming.
Yeah, I mean, I give Google credit because this seemed like something that Google could have just said, hey, we're going to start charging you to use Google My Business, and you know that it's so important for everyone that you're just going to have to do it. So I give them credit that they're at least saying, hey, it's coming, here are some options, here's the things we want to add to it, and then what would be your recommended spend to allow you to use it and have to pay for it. So I give them a lot of credit for that. For the sake of the actual features they give, I originally thought, like we talked about before the show, that they were just gonna make it that you maybe get an add-on to what you can already do, but it looks like there are a lot of new features that, depending on your business, could really help you in comparison to someone else. So like a chiropractor might want a different feature on here than a pizza shop. So it does at least give you more of a diverse selection of the types of additions you could have on your specific paid Google My Business page. So I give credit to Google. They're doing something a little bit better than I expected them to do.
This reminds me almost of Google expanding Google My Business to feel more like a Yelp page. Because obviously Google My Business, and when we have Google reviews, like it kind of mimics Yelp pages in those respects. But then we also have things like other than just giving offers and things like that, we have like you can request an instant quote. You can showcase that you have a bunch of verified licenses. You can promote different things, get automatic message responses, automated responses to reviews, things like that. So it feels like they're
Well, what you just said, what is that? Everything you just read, where does that normally live?
Well, it depends on some of those live
On what? On somebody's what?
Social media.
Somebody's website.
Oh, that's a fair point.
So what they're doing is, look, at the end of the day, if you're an ad agency, if you're a digital agency, and if your number one moneymaker is optimizing Google Local, 5 years ago, you're kicking ass. That's what Rank Me SEO was before Comexis was born. If you are solely focused on this, and I'm talking to my competitors out there who aren't really competitors because this isn't wholly what we do, you need to get out. You need to make a move in your ad agency. You're going to need to shift and start offering different services because Google's looking at, if you don't think Google's not looking at local SEO shops saying, these guys are, this is one of the fastest growing industries out there. We're not making our nut according to Wall Street. We're just going to go ahead and take the real estate that's rightfully ours. At the end of the day, it's rightfully Google's property. So Google, you're basically just going to pay Google to optimize your local map and everything else, which is what we're doing with websites. I'm not saying it's the end of the SEO agency because it's not. It's what we do. But it's definitely it's definitely an intrusion into the business and services that we offer. And as a local business, you would say to yourself, well, why would I go to Mike's SEO shop when I can just go pay Google maybe a third of the freight and I'm there? Now, obviously, there's a lot that Mike's SEO shop's going to be able to offer that Google can't because everybody's just not on Google. You should be looking at the entire buyer's journey. But it's to be very blunt and very candid. This is, to me, we have to get our earnings report up, and who are we going after? We're going after the local market. Well, who benefits the most after local market? Local SEO guys, and that's exactly who we're targeting right now. Do not mistake yourself. That's what's happening right now. There you go.
I think that's fair.
So all competitors close up your shop.
To my point about Yelp, and though now that I'm thinking about it, and now that you mentioned website, I think you have a really good point there. But there are a couple features like automated message responses and automated response to reviews. That reads to me more like Facebook Instant Messenger.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
and
too.
Chatbots on your website. But how many pizza places have chatbots on their website, right? So
You don't need, pizza places are, you're just putting that order in online.
well, no, I know, but it could be like my thought is, depending on obviously how automated these are they going to just be simple that we saw your message, somebody will get back to you, or are they going to be the more complex ones that we see on Facebook Messenger where it's, here's a question, answer this question, here's three more questions, pick your response, and you kind of spiral down. Because I could see somebody being like, do you have this? Do you have gluten-free whatever, blah, blah, blah. And having that on a Google My Business page by itself, that's pretty powerful because then they don't even have to visit your website.
Or maybe your phone and just answer. You're right.
Or maybe your menu is like a PDF and it's really hard for people to zoom in on it on their phone or whatever. But I agree with you. I definitely think it's a attack, not an attack. It's an encroachment.
It's an encroachment, and it's the same thing as for forever. You have so many companies that come to you, and again, we'll talk about this on platforms, and we'll talk on a lot of the stuff that we're working on, that Matt and Josh are working on. But it's the same thing as when they were, you have a lot of companies, all you need is SEO, and then Google makes all these updates, and you have pay-per-click. So Google, there's a way in which we're all profiting off Google. We're all profiting off YouTube. It's the same way that ad agencies in the 1950 and 60 Mad Men era were profiting off of ABC and CBS. Who are we fooling here? So it's a way for them to angle and say, all right, well, those agencies are profiting, and they're bringing us business, but I want that profit there. So it's the same way where we were profiting for SEO, and Google's like, well, we're done with you profiting with that much SEO. We're going to take 20% of your pie. We're going to put 20% more ads on the first page of Google. This is all part of the game. So if you're an ad agency, you have to figure out, okay, well, what's the next best service I can offer my client that's going to support them if they are going to work directly with Google on that? What can I do if, or even another step is, how do I talk to a client about, you may see reduced traffic to your website because more people are living in your Google local world opposed to this. So this is just a natural cat and mouse game with Google and agencies going forward, and it's never going to end. So,
Well, that's all for today's episode of The Buyer's Journey. Check us out on Comexis.com, YouTube, and anywhere you can get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter at buyers_journey. Thanks for listening.